Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Mr. Adeayobet. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys the reasons why you need to stop losing your bets and how you can work it out. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys two strategies that is really working out so well, but the process of it is what I'm going to explain how to acquire it later in the video. If you check this particular game very well, you are going to realize that this game is not a game that is really much like that, but it incorporates the game is incorporated with just two sports games. And if you understand this particular logo very well, you are going to understand that this is ice hockey prediction. If you look at it, you are going to realize that there are some tickets that most of these popular and famous tipsters that we all know, what they always predict sometimes is cricket, hockey, basketball, apart from football. Now, one thing that people don't know is that there are some sports games that you guys can also stake your predict your games on, and this particular the market for these games are very accurate and sure if you make use of the right steps. So, if you check this game very well, just it's only I think we only have three hockey prediction there, and the rest are basketball. So okay, yes, and the rest are basketball. So this is how it works. The first thing you need to do is that you need to make a steps by using a special strategy which I called the ultimate over basketball betting strategy. That is the betting strategy that I use. So I'm going to show you guys the steps that you can take for effective prediction on basketball prediction. So this particular strategy is not 100%. Please don't do a mistake. I'm going to show you a game right now, and I'm going to show you the reason why I say that not all strategies are 100%, but this particular strategy is accurately working out so well for me. So if you check this particular game, you can see that the odd is not something that is very much. It is just 1.36 odd, and I only combine two games together. That is two match prediction. This one is under the hockey, and that is the reason I told you guys that hockey has this ultimate accuracy that I can't even explain. If you make use of it in the right way, if you make use of it in the right way. So this is basketball that I told you. I actually applied the strategy on this particular game. But one thing I noticed about basketball games is that sometimes they lack consistency. Even though you predict them in with a market that surely they are expected to win it, anything can happen in it, and it will come out the other way around. The game was predicted as over 152, and unfortunately, the match ended up in 150. And you see, just 2 points caught the ticket. So that is the reason why I told you guys that this anything like strategy in sports betting is not always 100%. So take it like that. So, but I'm going to show you the process of how I do predict my basketball. At least if sometimes it's not working out so well, but at least I'm trying. I'm making sure that the more the in the prediction we're having enough high winning in it. So now let's move. So before I finally move on to the steps that you guys can take in predicting your basketball over points, so I would like to show you guys that in predicting your small odd, like small sure odds, don't only base your games in one sport games. In this situation, I make use of football handicap strategy. If you check it very well, you are going to see that even though if I predict this particular game as double chance, it is going to come out so well, that is win or draw. But I knew that most of my double chance strategy, like double chance prediction, if they are going to lose their game, because in football also sometimes it can sometimes be unpredictable. So if I want to predict my double chance on football, I rather prefer going for handicap, that is giving the home team two goals. This particular strategy is another thing on its own. That is football strategy. Now moving on to the prediction that you guys are saying, home team over 0.5, home team over 1.5. If you check the game very well, these particular games are ice hockey. They are ice hockey, and there are steps in predicting them. There are steps. So that is what I'm going to show you guys before moving on to our prediction, and steps that you can be taking in predicting basketball. Now, after that, the process of predicting ice hockey, that one is only available in our masterclass tutorial group. For the handicap, some of our audience have already acquired the process of predicting it. Every strategy has their own advantage and disadvantages. There are strategies that offer big odds, yes, very big odds. One of it is basketball. But games or strategies that offer big odds, they have this high chance of losing. Like there are high chance or probability of the game losing. That is the problem, because in basketball, consistency is not that really common. But in football also, there is high degree of consistency compared to that of basketball. But at least there is no game that is always 100% sure. Now moving on to cricket, the same thing applies to cricket. But if you apply, so don't let us waste our time. So now let us pick some games in from some of the major leagues that we have under the basketball league. And these sorry, these games, I'm going to show you guys the steps. The steps are very simple, but for the ice hockey aspect, that one is only available in our masterclass tutorial group, and that is where some of our audience have been able to acquire the handicap for football. But for the ice hockey, currently I'm still making use of it, and I'm trying to look if this particular one too is not, I always tell you that it is not always 100%, but I've never lost on hockey before. I've never lost on it. Currently I'm still winning my hockey prediction, so I want to observe it very well to know if this particular ice hockey prediction is going out so well. So if it is going out so well, definitely I'm going to start the tutorial, the masterclass tutorial on our group, probably in the next 2 days. Now let us move on by selecting one of our leagues here. So I'm going for basketball, and I'm going to check under the USA League. So we have 5 games here. We have 5 games under the USA League for basketball, and so let us check the first game that we are seeing here. Go look for the stats. Okay. Initially, the first thing I always advise people to check is to check if the teams are in form. Yes, check if the teams are in form. The both teams, at least they must win 3 out of their last 5 games. But in recent times, I don't even bother to look at that again. Yes, I don't. Sometimes I don't even bother to look at that again. But if you want to look at it, it can add up to the accuracy of your prediction. It can add up to it. So if you are checking the form, and you realize that at least the teams that you want to predict your games on, they've won at least 3 out of the last 5 games with other teams, so it is perfect to go on with your analysis. But in these particular games, I'm not considering that factor, so I'm just moving on to our analysis now. The first thing you are going to do, apart from checking the form, check the home team, check the away team. So this is where they played, this is where they've been meeting. Now how many times has the home team played with the opponent, that is Orlando? Now we have 1 year and another 1 year. So the first one that we are seeing here is the match ended up in 130 and 117. So Orlando had 130, and the second one that we are seeing here is 105. Now this is what you need to do. You have to pick just one out of these two. So how will you pick the one you want to use for your stats? Is that you go for the smallest one. We are going for over, and if you want to go for over, you need to pick the number that is extremely, like, the smallest number that's, at least that bookmakers are going to provide the market for it. Now we are picking 105. I believe you guys are documenting it. Please, I want you guys to be documenting the figures, because in case I can make any mistakes, and that can be corrected from your side. Now we're having 105, and the next thing you need to do is to check the out of the last few games that the away team has played here and here. That is Charlotte. Charlotte. I'm using French, so we have, out of the two they had 117 here, and we have 112. So between 117 and 112, which one is the smallest? Definitely it is 112. So we are picking 105 and 112. So adding it together, we are going to be getting 217. 217. Please note that 217. Now you move on to the head-to-head new. And check the last 5 games that the home team had played with other team while at home. So we have 1 year another year, and another year. So out of these three, we have one that is 111. They had 111. They had 114, and they had 97. So among these three that they played while in at home, we can see that the smallest among is 97, which is here. It is 97. Please take note of that. So move on to the away team games, and out of the last 5 games that the away team had played, they only appeared 3 times. Okay, sorry, for yes, 3 times. They appeared 3 times away. So the one that I'm seeing here is 97. Another one is 110, and another one is 98. So among these three, the smallest one is 97, which is here. So which is here. So 97. So and we had 97 here also. So we are going to add everything together. So 97 plus 97 and 217. So we have 217 plus 97 plus 97. So the total figure that we are able to get now is 411. Now this 411 is what we are going to divide by 2. So the total figure that we are currently having is 205.5. Now for me, I do my prediction in 2 ways. If I want to risk my games, like if I want to risk it, and like I want to play a risky game, I'll just go and look for these particular figures straight and direct if the bookmakers are providing it. Straight and direct if the bookmakers are providing it on the market. But if I want to play safe, so I only subtract 10 points from it, and I'm going to be getting 195.5. So this 195.5 is what I'm going to predict. So that is what I'm going to predict naturally. That's what I'm going to. But if I want to play risky games, I won't subtract any figures from it. But playing safe, you have to subtract a particular figures of like 10 and above. Now let us check if the bookmakers are providing 195. Let's see. So this is fantastic, because checking their last 5 games, these particular 2 teams last previous game, you can realize that most of their games are not ending up in a very high figures. So the market that the bookmakers are even providing right now is 189, and the total figure that we got is 195. So it is in 2 ways. You can either go for this, or you can extra go for something safe by going for 189. So for me, if I want to play like follow my normal steps, I can go for over 195, which is 1.45. Now let us check another game, and this is another game that I'm going to check will be the last example that we are going to make in today's video. And if you are interested in learning our ice hockey, I'm sure many people are not really familiar with how this particular market of ice hockey works. So I'm going to explain it in our next video, or in this video, before I end this particular process. Now let us check the match between Washington and Houston Rockets. Now, so don't forget what I told you guys, that if you want to predict basketball, you need to look into these particular factors. But for me, in this video, and sometimes I don't look at the factors anymore. I don't look at the form factors, but that particular factors always affect your outcome, because most times when you are having two teams that are like that are not really in form, and they are not really scoring enough points, there's probability that when they meet, the point that they are going to get will be very low. But for now, I'm not looking at that. So now let us move on. So checking the last 5 games for Washington, while playing at home, we have 109 and we have 111. Okay, so among these two, we can see that 109 is the smallest figure. Now let us look for the games that Austin played away. We have 114 here and 114. So we are having the same figures for the two, and we are picking just one. So 114. Now add up 114 and 109 together. So I believe you guys are documenting it. Let us move on to our calculator. 109 plus 114. 109 plus 114. Okay, sure, we are having 223. And let us move on. Check the head-to-head new to check the last previous games that they've played with other teams. So while Washington was playing at home, You can see here, and okay, they only played once with other teams at home, and the figures that they had is 104. So 104 document it. And for Austin, while playing away, they only played 3 times, one, two, and three, the last one. So among these three, we can see that 103 is the smallest among these three, because we had a game that ended up in 123 while playing away, and another one 112 while playing away, and the last one, which is 103, and it is the smallest. So the smallest is what we are going to add up with this particular 104. So 103 and 104, add it up with this 223, 103 plus 104. So the total figure that we are currently having is 430. Now we're having 430, yes. Now divide this by 2, and the total figure that we're having is 215. Now don't forget I told you guys that if you want to play a risky game, like you want to go risk, you can go for it like direct, as you are seeing it like this. You can just play it directly. But if you want to play safe, don't forget, subtract 10 points from it, and you are getting 205. If the bookmakers are not providing the market for if the bookmakers are not providing the market for 205, and you want to play safe, don't go for anything. Don't, even if the game come out so well, don't go for it. Be disciplined when you are using a particular strategy. Now let us see if the bookmakers are providing 205. So unfortunately, you see what I'm talking about, guys. The exact figures that the bookmakers are providing here is 215. So it is only available for people that are going for the risk. Actually, if you go for it, it can come out so well, and it shows that you are trying to risk something. But if you want to play safe, I will advise you guys that you should skip this particular game and go for something else. Now let me quickly make a brief explanation about how cricket work. So cricket is very simple. It's very simple. It is kind of similar to football, but the period that they use in playing it is very different, and the environment that they use in predicting it is very different. So I'm going to make use of this particular game as an example, and you are going to see how it works. Now if you check it very well, if you check this place very well, you guys are going to see something like 1, 2, and 3, and you are seeing overtime. Yes, they always play overtime, just like they play tennis, lawn tennis. When they play draw, and they go for the overtime, which is the third set. But in this particular sport games, they only have 3 periods: the first period, the second period, and the third period. So in this particular game, the first period ended up in 1-1. The second period ended up in away team losing by 2 goals to nothing, 2 points to nothing, and the third point, the away team also scored 2 points, and the game ended up in 3-3. Now they went to the overtime, and the home team won by just 1 point, and the total aggregate points was 4-3. It is very simple. It is just like scoring football, but I think it is far more easier to score points in ice hockey compared to that of football. So that are just the difference, and the rules that guide the games are different. So if you want to predict your games on it, if you are following our steps, because we have a tutorial video on that particular on this particular strategy of ice hockey. If you want to acquire it, you can access it in our masterclass tutorial group, as I said earlier. So if you are predicting them, we have different markets like straight winning, over points, handicap, and so on like that. But I will always advise you guys that if you are just getting yourself familiar with new sports prediction or sports strategy, always go for the winning or over points. So for me currently, what I'm using now is the home team over points, and sometimes I use the total points over. So that's how it works. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like our video, share if you are finding it very interesting, and also if you check our video description, checking the video description, you are going to see the description about this video, and also you are going to see our contact details there. By contacting us, you are going to be having access to our masterclass tutorial group, but there are procedures and steps in